This is one of those movies that ultimately feels too familiar to really stand out. Heel premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival in late 2025 with an original title of Good Boy. It makes sense that they changed the title, as there was another movie coming out just at the right time that had a exact same title and was just getting a lot more attention, so it makes sense they changed it, that being the movie about the haunted house and the dog. I didn't hear much buzz after its premiere, but then Magnolia picked it up for release. And I was like, yeah, I'll give this one a shot, especially Stephen Graham, who I think is just a brilliant actor. He's in this one. This movie follows a 19-year-old Tommy being kidnapped by this family, and he's trying to find a way to escape and really figure out why they even captured him. This is a movie that has so many little individual parts about it that are so familiar, and overall it just becomes like a big giant movie of ideas that we've seen done before and done better. When I was watching the movie, I spent most of the runtime trying to figure out what makes it unique. It is a movie that follows very similar story beats, like I said, to countless other movies where someone's being held captive, someone's kind of dealing with Stockholm Syndrome, someone is dealing with trying to escape a situation that they can't get out of. Don't get me wrong, you can have an original story within those ideas and it can be great. This one, original story with those ideas, it didn't really turn out great. And so I was just kind of trying to figure out where the story is going to kick into gear. Is it going to put a twist on things? Is it going to do something unique that I haven't seen before? It definitely takes its time pacing wise. Some stories like that, they can be really good. Other ones, not so much. Typically those stories, you want to feel very satisfied by the end of it. You want to feel like they were building your intrigue throughout with the pacing and kind of had it slow at the start, and then you go into like a big finale that feels very satisfying. I did not feel that with Heel. While I do think the performances are all very strong, obviously Stephen Graham, you have Oscar nominee Andrea Riseborough. I didn't really care for their characters all too much, and that's one of the key things I feel like with these stories where someone's being held captive. I didn't care about the person that was being held captive. Our main character, Tommy, I just didn't really care for him. It's also a guy that's just not a good person, so that kind of hurts it too. But to counter that, there are so many characters in the history of film that are just not good people, but you can still find yourself kind of caring about them. They have an edge to them that makes them kind of an audience favorite. I think really this comes down to good and complex writing, a multi-layered story writing. The film was directed by Jan Komasa, who did a film a couple years ago called Corpus Christi that not a lot of people talk about. It was nominated for Best Foreign Film at the Oscars. It's a really good film if you haven't seen it. I watched it before this one, and so I was kind of going into it and I was like, okay, this could be a really interesting story from this guy. Now, he just directed it. This movie was not a film that he wrote, so that is an important piece to note. But directing wise, it's just very forgettable. There's nothing about this one to really stand out. With the ending, it kind of feels like the movie thinks it's more satisfying than it actually is. I was just like, really, that's what they're doing here? Kind of eye-rolling, honestly, which is just unfortunate. There's also a subplot involving a nanny that basically goes nowhere. There's like these people that is like out to get this nanny, and that just kind of gets dropped. You think this is going to be a main character at the beginning of the movie because the kind of story gets set into motion because of this nanny being hired, and then it's just like goes nowhere. I think they kind of was just like, okay, we need this to kind of get everything else in place, and then okay, we'll just forget about it. But as an audience member, you're like, what the hell happened? Overall, I think it's just going to be a very forgettable movie. Like, it's fine overall, it's very watchable. It's just following too many familiar beats of like someone being held captive, dealing with Stockholm Syndrome, and kind of just struggling to escape their situation. The performances are all strong, but I just didn't really care about anything else in the movie. I'm gonna give Heel a C+, and if you're curious, I would just recommend streaming it. I wish this one was a gem that not enough people would be talking about. I could put on your radar and I'd say this is one to watch, but it's not really that. But if you've seen the movie, be sure to leave your thoughts on it down below in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.